Hey guys, my name is KWT5 and welcome to something a little bit different. I've been told that it'll be okay for me to do something like a speed art type of video, so I decided to choose this one. This is a stream that I did, I don't know, last week maybe, and I was trying to make a comic strip for a webcomic that I'm creating, and it's going to be launched officially next year. On New Year's Day. But if you guys like my KW25 Facebook page, you can see the first strip weeks early, a month and a half early. But let's go through what my thoughts were while I was making this strip. This is actually the second strip, so you guys are getting a sneak peek. So at first I wanted to draw something that was sort of like a continuation of the first strip, and I started off by drawing Jay's face and then turning it sideways to try and draw him lying down on the side of his face on the table as he's talking. But then I realized how hard it was to draw the actual neck and body from the side, and I'm not that good at drawing, so I gave up. So my second idea was to have him be still profile and be still side on, but I decided to have him on a bike. Originally I wanted him to have his arms crossed because he's cool like that and he's riding without using his hands, but I came into a bit of a problem when I realized that I can't draw cross arms front on or from the side, so I gave up on that idea as well and just decided on a simple one hand and one arm holding the I don't know, what are they called, the steering stick thing on the bike. I haven't ridden a bike in years, so I don't know, and I don't think I even knew what they were called even when I was riding a bike. It's just where you put your hands. That's how I know about it. And the other arm is in his pocket. That's why there's his elbow sticking out. So that was panel one. At this point, I'm writing this strip on the fly, you know. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that the first panel was going to be him riding a bike. So then I moved on to the second panel, which is just him, you know, casually turning to the right. And yeah, it wasn't really that complicated. I just drew him turning using his arm because, you know, that's what bike riders use when they want to turn somewhere. And yeah, he's a bit of a rebel because he's not wearing a helmet, and in Australia that's a big no-no. That's against the law. Anyway, let's go to the third panel. At this point, I had an inkling about what I wanted the punchline of the comic strip to be, but I didn't know how to get to it. So I was like, okay, let's do something completely out of the ordinary, and I just did this dynamic sort of noticing something in the distance turn shot, even with action lines as well. That was really fun to do. Like, it was really fun to just have this out of place, like very shonen comic sort of frame. And then what I did was afterwards I just did a couple of frames to show that he was riding really quickly. So the first frame is just his foot on the pedal as he's pedaling. You can see the huff 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 sound effects around it, showing that he's actually trying his hardest to ride as fast as he can. And then the next frame is next panel is just him, you know, looking a bit sweaty as he's riding towards this thing that he noticed from far away. Notice how there's always like speed lines to show that it's like he's actually moving. The next one was a bit difficult because I don't draw anything other than character design, and this requires me to actually draw parts of a bike. And as I said, I haven't ridden a bike in ages, so I used a reference picture that I didn't even follow that closely at the end of the day. And the bike is very, 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 very bad. Let's just suspend our belief. What's it saying? Suspension of belief. I don't know. Let's just pretend that it's actually a bike. And let's just appreciate that I wanted to do something more actiony than the usual, like, we're a couple of characters standing still while we're doing the dialogue thing, and then I did the shadowing of the bike, and then there's the dynamic screeching as he's like sliding and drifting to a stop, dramatic stop, and then we get to the punchline, which is the reveal of the thing that he saw from far away, which is just a big sign saying 40% off selected TVs and TV DVDs and Blu-rays, and he's going yes with a fist pump. That was my logic. I just went on the fly up until the third panel. I finally decided on a joke whilst I was drawing the third panel. I think it was when I was drawing the action lines for the third panel. And by the sixth panel, I finally finalized on what the joke was going to be. I'm actually pretty happy with the end result. A couple of false starts, but in the end, it's not an outright joke punchline, but it's just like a, oh, that's pretty cool sort of thing. Like, it's a slice of life comic. So if you want more information on Jay and Thompson, which is the name of the webcomic, I realize I haven't actually said, you can there's links on the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.